Remember, the time to speak up is now. In all 50 US states and over 18 countries in the world, people have participated in Black Lives Matter protests, which makes it the largest civil rights movement in the world and in history. History is in the making, and you have to ask yourself, at what side of history do you want to stand? Change as of now is inevitable, even if you think it does not concern you. Hey, before I start this video, I want to highlight another video that you can watch, loop, run the ads on, and while you're doing that, you're actually supporting Black entrepreneurs and creatives, because that video was simply made for that purpose. And also, if you go to the description box, you will be able to find a lot of resources as to how you can help. And because I am a Black woman living in the Netherlands, there will be plenty of resources for my Dutch people as well. And on that note, this video will be partly talking about how people are a huge problem to the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and how and why it is so important to actually stand up and say something. And the other half is going to be more about ways that you can help. And here goes nothing. This last week or so has been really eye-opening, and I think that we have all had a lot of time to think, depending on whether or not you are willing to see what is happening in the world, of course. But I want to say that it is really important and really crucial for Black people to tend to their mental health. It is okay to step back a bit, recharge before continuing this fight, because we have a long way to go. And for me, I think that speaking up is so important. And if you are a Black person and you really want to talk to someone about this and you don't have anyone, or you want to do this more anonymously, you can always reach out to me. This is me opening myself up for communication with you. And also, the first thing that people can do is check up on your Black peers, your Black friends, your colleagues, and just check in on them. And don't expect them to, you know, run you through all of their experiences, and they don't owe you that explanation either. Just check up on them and make sure they are okay. On May 25th, George Floyd was suspected of passing a counterfeit $20 bill. And while he was putting in handcuffs, he was actually being restrained by 3 cops. And one of these cops was Derek Chauvin, and he was putting his knee on George Floyd's neck, and he did so for almost 9 minutes. And in the last 3 minutes, he was actually motionless and he had no pulse. It's really heartbreaking, and people are really mad because George Floyd is not the first person to have died in by the hands of the police. And if you have seen the video, you know that George Floyd has said on multiple occasions that his body hurts, his stomach hurts, his neck hurts, and he cannot breathe. This brave 17-year-old named Darnella Frazier is the one who filmed everything. And it is so traumatic for her, because there's another video where she actually expresses her trauma. It has been so important as to what is happening in the world today. A couple of days ago, I came across a comment on Facebook, and someone was asking, genuinely asking, why didn't she do more? Talking about Darnella Frazier. And the first thing that came to my mind was, how dare you? How dare you, white woman somewhere in the comforts of her own privilege, whiteness, how dare you ask why didn't she do more? Because the question to me is not why or why not Darnella Frazier did or did not do more. The question is, what are you doing? What are you doing to dismantle this system of white supremacy? And what are you doing to fight modern day lynching by police? Other than that, I think that white people need to stop thinking that the way they navigate this world and how they experience police is the default setting for everyone. Because no, not everyone navigates this world thinking that nothing can touch them and my father is a lawyer, do you know who I am? That does not work for everyone. It's so crazy because I am a black woman living in the Netherlands, and for me to assume that all the experiences of all black women living in the Netherlands are similar to mine, because if a woman, a black woman in the Netherlands would share her experiences with me and talk about how her experience with racism has been totally different from mine, who the F am I to tell her that that is not the way it works, that is not the way it is? Because that is not, because both are not mutually exclusive. Because yes, white people can think that the police is there to protect them, but the other side of it is also that black people don't think that way at all, and their relationship with police is totally different, but they can coexist. I mean, if you really don't think that white privilege is a thing, that you don't have it automatically as a white person, then I have news for you. Ding, 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 ding. You are part of the problem. Then we can talk about the popular responses. I mean, we have All Lives Matter and I don't see color, and both statements are actually detrimental to the cause, but also debunked by the mere existence of the whole Black Lives Matter movement. Yes, all lives matter, but our experiences are not the same, and Black Lives Matter exists because black people have been killed relentlessly by the police simply for being black. And we have all seen these videos where white mass shooters, murderers, you name it, are being brought in by the police, taken to McDonald's on the way, and actually being taken in alive. So the problem is not about the police actually not knowing how to treat suspects and people that are actually guilty, but it's just with black people. When people are saying Black Lives Matter and you respond with All Lives Matter, you are being dismissive of what it means to be black. Black people are killed at a higher rate by police, and this is not just in America, this is a global problem. And I saw a video where a girl was explaining on TikTok what it means when you, how it sounds like when you reply with All Lives Matter, and she was saying it like this. Think about this. You are having dinner with a bunch of people and everyone is hungry and everyone is complaining about being hungry, and then plates with food come in and everyone gets a plate, but there's only one person, Bob, without anything on his plate. And Bob is complaining because he's still hungry, but he also doesn't have anything on his plate. And instead of, you know, sharing your food with Bob, you are telling this person that, you know what, Bob, stop complaining because we are all hungry. And for those people who don't get it, the food is a metaphor for white privilege. Also, the statement of not seeing color is like saying, you know what, I am going to ignore this part of you because it makes me uncomfortable. And being black is a part of what we are. It's not all we are, but refusing to see our color is disregarding of the distinct nuances of what our blackness brings to the table. And Karen, you need to know that if you have lived a life full of privilege, equality is going to feel like oppression. However, it's not the oppression Olympics. And if you think otherwise, ding, 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 you are part of the problem. Now that we have established that you are part of the problem, let's talk about solutions and how to support. Firstly, I think it is really important for you to check up on your black peers. Check up on your friends, family members, your colleagues, and make sure they are okay. However, they do not owe it to you to share their pain with you. Neither are they obliged to share their experiences with you. So if they don't, it's not about you. Next, I need you to do your research and educate yourself. Also, it is not up to black people to educate white people about what is going on and why the Black Lives Matter movement is so important. And we live in an era where you can find out anything through Google, because I mean, whenever you feel sick, you can Google the F out of Google and find out exactly what diseases you have or may not have. So what I need you to do is do some research, and maybe you can start with white supremacy. Next, you need to consume black media. You need to follow black people, black organizations that are essential to the movement. And also, you can watch documentaries, you can watch movies, you can listen to podcasts, and everything will be listed down below. So if you need inspiration, the comment section, the description box is where you need to go. If you are from the Netherlands, just like me, the description box will also be filled with enough resources for us so that we can continue our fight in the Netherlands. If you have made it this far in the video and you're white, I can only assume that you have acknowledged your white privilege and that you are ready to use it. So the next step is for you to use your whiteness and your white privilege to amplify black voices. And we have all seen various videos where white people actually have been able to use their white privilege to help protesters, for example, by opening up their homes, making sure all the protesters are okay, or even there's a video where white women have put themselves between black protesters and the police. And yes, those are great ways for white people to actually become great allies. However, it does not stop there, because it is something that you need to be thinking of more on a daily level. So if you are in a management position and you are able to hire people, do not overlook black people. And we have all seen that all these great brands that we all love have been putting a black square, but the black square doesn't do anything. And now the next step is for these companies to actually step up. There's this Instagram account and they actually share the numbers of black employees these big beauty brands have. And even though the numbers are beyond disappointing, it is still a great thing that these companies have been sharing that publicly with this Instagram account, and that they are seeing that this is actually a problem. So use your white privilege to listen and to learn from black people who are willing to share, and learn from this. Also use your platform to highlight these voices, and you can do so by using the hashtag #AmplifyMelanated_Voices. The next thing you can do is sign petitions, donate to bill funds, because protesters all over the world are being arrested and they need money to be billed out, and therefore there are many bill funds that you can donate to, and there are also plenty of petitions that you can sign. For example, the one for George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, but we have also this case in Brazil that really needs your attention. And us in the Netherlands, we also have a very important petition to sign that is stopping this decision to increase the force that officers in the Netherlands can use. Everything will be in the description box. On that note, I have also seen a few videos where white protesters are being exposed for being fake because they are the ones instigating, and the police is always thinking that they are actually part of the whole Black Lives Matter movement. So if you are protesting, please be watchful, be careful, and watch the video. If you need it, it will be in the description box. Mitch Henriquez, Iana Dior, Amadou Diallo, Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, Tony McDade, Adama Traore, Eric Garner, Alton Sterling, Nina Pop, Tamir Rice, Michael Brown, Atatiana Jefferson, Ahmaud Arbery, Botham Jean, Philando Castile, George Floyd, and countless others.